Well, let's bring on the head coach now. Joining us now in our postgame is the head coach of the Snowflake Lobos. It's Andy Wood, and he is making now a return trip to the state championship game. It's been a couple of years, Coach, since you've been back there, but I'm sure it's going to be sweet to get there, to get to Eastmark High School in a state championship. Coach, congratulations on a 40-35 victory over Fountain Hills in the semifinals.
Well, thank you. Wasn't the score 12-12 at halftime?
It was,
and then 13-12 after the third quarter. So you scored more in the third quarter than you did the entire first half.
So, you know what? That's two really low-scoring games for us in a row. Obviously, teams are sure pushing. You know, at halftime, and I think Caden said this at halftime. We said the first team to unpuck is going to win this game because Fountain Hills didn't shoot like they usually do, and fortunate for us, and we didn't shoot like we do sometimes and stuff. But you know, I thought that our defense in the end was really kind of what was key for us, and both teams unpuckered, and it actually became a pretty good game. A little bit back and forth there in the second half, and. You know, Fountain Hills, they've played very, very good basketball. They're very disciplined. They don't want to get out of their system.
Yeah.
And they stick to that really well.
Well, let me ask you about that, Coach. Let me ask you about the fact that when I watch Snowflake play, most of the time, Snowflake dictates the terms of the game out on the floor. You want to run, and your guys get the pace going. Fountain Hills was going to make darn well sure that the Lobos didn't get that high-octane offense in gear today. They did a great job. They've got great guys that protect the ball well. They took the air out of the ball all game long. Was it frustrating to watch and see from the bench when you know your guys are capable of getting out and getting going in the open court?
Yeah, you know, they were doubling and tripling Stewart whenever the ball would get in on the post, and the post move Stewart did get and did have really were the end result of our transition and getting our guys, getting Stewart down there, beating his guys down there, and then a quick and early entry pass keeps them from being able to double team and triple team him. We obviously need to do that more. You know, I've been coaching for a long time, and teams have done their research. They know that they've got to stop Snowflake from running the ball. So I guess I'm going to have to figure out what else to coach them beyond transition, because we spend so much time on transition and doing that we got a day to figure out something else.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Wood, you know, I thought it was a great game. I thought one of the biggest differences in that game was in the fourth quarter when you guys went to your patented Z defense, and it didn't cause many turnovers at all, but it seemed to change what Fountain Hills did on the offense. They started getting a little hectic and weren't sure what to do. Can you just comment on your Z defense and how your boys play that? Because a lot of times teams press, and if they don't get turnovers, they kind of get bummed about the press. And how do they stay focused and stay in there?
You know what? I was very hesitant to go to Z. We really haven't ran it that much this year. We haven't had to, and so therefore we're kind of out of practice from it. Besides taking Fountain Hills, I think you're right. It took them out of their helter, kind of made them play a little more helter-skelter-ish. And I think that took them out of sync defensively a little bit on the other end. And it increased our intensity. Besides on the defensive end, it increased our intensity there, and then maybe helped us relax a little more offensively, because that's where our thoughts were going, was getting that ball on Z. You know, We ended up pulling out a Z and going that full court man-to-man until we got the lead, and I just thought our guys just showed a lot of grit. They were able to play some physical man-to-man because we had some fouls to give, and I think that played a lot of positives to have to pressure the ball there in the end.
Absolutely, I think that helped, and obviously me and you are very much the same. Defense is going to win the game, down the stretch, and your guys played great defense.
We're talking with Coach Andy Wood, the head coach of Snowflake. They have knocked off the Fountain Hills Falcons in the semifinals tonight. Snowflake back to the state championship game for Coach Andy Wood. They beat Fountain Hills 40-35 tonight. So next up, we believe, is going to be the Page Sand Devils. We have not seen a final score yet, but they had a big lead with a minute 43 left. So I don't think they were going to they were going to relinquish that to Gilbert Christian tonight. Page, I believe, is playing their best basketball of the season, and you get a rematch. You beat them once at their place this season. Are you ready for the Sand Devils?
I'm ready for whoever we get. That's actually surprising. I think Gilbert Christian's a good basketball team. Page is really good in Page, and obviously they'll be ready to win a state championship as much as we are. That's who beat us last year at the state tournament was it the third round? It was the third round of the state tournament. Page beat us, so we've been looking forward to that rematch. And right now, I'm glad we got to play him. We get to play him twice this year.
I want to wrap up with one final question. So the Snowflake Lady Lobos win yesterday. They're on to a championship game. Your team wins onto a championship game. The wrestling team has done wonderfully this year. The football team won a state championship. What is it that is so special about Snowflake athletics this year that is resulting in all this great success?
You know what? I just have to pay all that to our community. Our community, I know during this pandemic and other teams, they've struggled getting kids to practice every day. They've struggled, having the same 5 guys on the floor night in and night out. And, we've got a great community that supports the school. Our school board's done an amazing job at keeping us in school every single day this year. We haven't had any breaks in our schedule. And so more than anything, I think life is normal for as much as possible for Snowflake Lobos, and with that, the community makes them feel like they're representing them, and we talk to our boys all the time about you represent the whole, you represent all of Snowflake, and when you do something dumb, Snowflake gets blamed, or the whole basketball team gets blamed. So remember who you represent. I am real excited for the girls. It's been, I think, since 2009-ish. I know Misty Caldwell and Kendra Christensen in that group was the last ones to play for the state title. And like I said last time, I think Coach Claire and the girls are well deserving to be there. I love watching them. It's been a while since I've loved watching girls basketball, and they've brought a love for that game back, and they've done a great job.
Well said, Coach. Well done. A victory in the semifinals, the championship game. You know that place. You know that territory.
Well, I hope so. We'll try to figure it out again.
All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Andy Wood. Go enjoy with your guys.
Good job,
okay?
Andy.